Are we on? All right. Where are my scouts?
Right here.
Scouts want to sit down. Sit down with your families. You guys can keep on eating, and I'm sure there's still leftover food. Make sure you get cake. It was a hit. I hear the frosting was fabulous.
Where's this from?
The cake is from Meyer. Or, I'm sorry, the cake is from Sam's Club.
Oh, very good.
Sorry. Sam's Club.
You liar.
They just did a great job. All right. Since I'm an introvert, I don't like to talk in front of people, so I'll have to read my little script here. I want to talk to the scouts first. All of the scouts, not just Den 8. So I'm not sure how many tigers we have here, and how many wolves, and bears, and weevils. So the first part of this is for you scouts. Scouting is a journey. You begin as tigers, you earn your bobcat. You learn Cub Scout promise in the law of the pack. You move on to wolf, and you practice the skills that help you grow. You learn about being a member of your family. You learn about being a good citizen. You practice your duty to God. Then you advance to bear. Now you are responsible for your own growth in body, mind, and spirit. You are a responsible member of your family. You are a responsible citizen, and you know your duty to God. Then you're finally a Weevil Scout. You know what it means to be a loyal scout. You are an example to the younger scouts. You will do your best. You will do your duty to God. You will do your duty to your country. You will help other people. You will follow Aquila. You will help the pack go, and you will give goodwill. But this is not the end. You cross over to Boy Scouts. The Boy Scout oath adds that you will keep yourself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. The Boy Scout law says a scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. You go through the ranks. Start off as a scout, quickly move on to tenderfoot, second class, first class, star, life. You saw a few Life Scouts over there, and then hopefully Eagle. But this is not the end. You are a scout for life. So, especially you boys in Den 8, when you are an adult, I hope that you remember your scouting experience as a youth. I hope that your memories are positive enough for you to pass on your experiences to your children. Parents, help your scouts get the best experiences out of scouting possible. Help them first by bringing them to scouting events, and then help them by helping our pack leaders in any way that you can. Don't just sit back and watch life happen to your sons. Participate in your son's life. Scouting is a great excuse to spend time with your son, so spend time with your son now, because he'll never be this age again. Some of our pack leaders wear many hats. Help them by wearing one of their hats. Pick up an item for a den meeting or a pack meeting. Help coordinate an activity. Plan an activity. Share an idea. Now I'd like to thank the families of our second year Weebles in Den 8. They helped their son, they helped me, and they helped all the boys in the den. Each year these boys were scouts. They earned their rank. They earned their rank due to their own hard work. They earned their rank due to my planning and guidance. But most of all, they earned their rank due to the dedication of their parents through all their years of scouting so far. So, I want the following, please come up. I got these Cub Scout mugs for all of our families. I want you guys to, as a token of our appreciation, and to remember your experiences with Cub Scouts. So, Kirk and Nina Faulkner, come on up. Wendy Krzyzanowski. Get the one I already opened.
Oh, I read. You probably use it
Job and
too.
Joe Pokout.
You use this one.
Randy Vachon and Lisa Vachon. And Scott and Kelly Vorpal. You guys hang on just a minute. In addition to the Cub Scout mug, I'd like to personally thank Scott and Kelly for stepping up at this year's Pinewood Derby. Scott volunteered to run the race software for the event when I found out that I wasn't going to be able to attend. So we got this certificate of appreciation for Scott and Kelly. And I want to make sure that now our registered leaders. Our pack is run entirely by volunteer parents. Some of the volunteer parents have taken the additional steps to become officially registered, and they have also taken the training courses necessary for their positions. So I want these registered leaders to please stand up and be recognized when I call your name. Our new Tiger Den leader in Den 3, Amber Mackey. Our Wolf Den 1 leader, Stacy Connor. Our Bear Dens 5 and 6 leaders, Doreen Conarty, Joan Pofal, and Kim Schaff. Our first year Weeblos, Den 9 and 10 leaders, Hank and Linda Gilbert, Jason Fleming, and Matt Kennedy. Our Cub Master and Assistant Cub Master, Jim Newhouse and Jeff LaBelle. Our Treasurer, Lisa. And our Secretary, Jennifer Kennedy. Thank you guys, thank you all. I would also like to thank my stepson, Brian, for letting me restart my own scouting journey with him over 10 years ago. I'd like to thank my son, Michael, for sharing his scouting journey with me. And I want to thank Melanie for coming up from Ball State today to be with your brother. I'd like to thank my wife, Wendy, for allowing me to put in all the time and effort with this pack, sometimes at the expense of time for my own family. Yes, ours. All right. Now, Dian Curtis, come on up here. Diane is a co-den leader of Bear Den 6, right? Den 6, along with Kim. And since last fall, Diane has stepped up to take on the position of pack committee chair as I prepare to transition to Boy Scouts with my son Michael as he crosses over tonight. Even though there may be a perception that I did a lot for this pack, I could never pull it off without the help from all of the registered pack leaders, as well as all the volunteer parents. And I'm sure that Diane is going to appreciate the continued help from all of you. So Diane, from this point forward, I'm passing the torch on to you.
Thank you.
One last thing I want to say for everybody, remember Thursdays is for scouting.
Don't leave.
Right?
Okay.
Do you need this?
Am I loud enough or do I need it?
You need it.
Okay. And I'm going to need Doreen's help up here.
Mom, you need a microphone.
Thank you, son. That's mine. Who doesn't need it?
Yep, you heard me.
Okay. So, thank you, Jim, for your words of encouragement to our scouts, to our parents, and to all of our wonderful leaders. I'm not sure if everybody really understands what it takes to run a den and also run a pack. I just know that Jim has been a very intricate part of that the past 10 years. So come on over. Doreen and I would like to share with all of you the many hats of Jim's scouting journey. So, Jim started Scouts as a Cub Scout back in 1970 in Buffalo, New York. As a Boy Scout, he made it to first class and was inducted into the Order of the Arrow. Just a few years later, in 2001, we find that we owe Jim's next success to his wife, Wendy, when she gave him a Cub Scout flyer and suggested to take his son Brian to Deer Ridge and see what it was all about. So now this may come as a shock to some of you, but Jim immediately volunteered to put together a website for the pack. And Jim and his wife organized the Blue Gold Banquet in 2002. Volunteer, please. Jim was not warned, but herein lies where they get you. The Cub Master, John, asked if he'd be interested in taking over as Cub Master, but many of you know Jim prefers a behind-the-scenes role and was presented with committee chair, and in 2002 found his destiny. Later on, adapting and putting in place Packmaster, a software to track and order all of our Scouts awards and rechartering, which has been a lifesaver for all of us leaders. During this time, he attended most of the district roundtable meetings through 2009, and for several years held a district roundtable commissioner's position. Receiving in 2003 District Chief of the Year Award and District Committee Member Year Award in 2006. Now don't worry, this is not all work and no fun with Jim. He's had plenty of fun with University of Scouting, Pinewood Derbies, day and resident camp, tobogganing, and all the fun summertime activities of family camp out and tin caps. When Brian crossed over to Boy Scouts, Jim became a merit badge counselor for Troop 349. Now here's an interesting fact. During the time when Brian crossed over and before Michael started Tigers, he had a year off, right? So no, he decided to continue with scouting. He attended Wood Badge training in 2007, an extremely dedicated, intense training, and was in the Buffalo Patrol, which, if you think about it, is kind of cool because he started in scouting in Buffalo, New York. So when Mike was ready for Tigers, so was Jim. He and Wendy became leaders for his den while still wearing his many other hats. Just a few years ago, in 2009, are we getting there?
Yeah.
Just a few years ago in 2009, Jim was presented at District Leader Recognition Dinner his Wood Badge Beads, Commissioner of the Year Pack 333, and Unit Scout Award. That would be his training. Yes. As the years went on, so did Jim's commitment as a wolf leader, a bear leader, a Weeblos leader for his son Mike, as well as Zach, Simon, Morgan, and Ryan. Jim, as you move on with scouting and continue to touch young lives, we want to thank you for the many hats that you have worn for our scouts and the countless hours and dedication to our pack. So with that, we would like to present you with this plaque. It says, Jim Krzyzanowski, Cub Scout Pack 3333, Committee Chairman 2002 to 2012, Advancement Chairman 2005 to 2012, Den 8 Den Leader 2007 to 2012.
Thank you guys very much.
So you guys know the saying behind every great man is a great woman. With that said, Wendy, can you please come up and we have a little something for you. Thank you very much for your support of Jim and the pack over the years.
Little ferns.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, and before you leave though, we do have Den 8, if you can please come up. It's all yours.
I got cookies on there.
Picture there.
Please accept this gift. Token of our appreciation. For everything you have done. As your Cub Scout den leader, from the bottom of our hearts, we say thank you.
Thank you, guys. You guys can open this in front of everybody or not?
Yeah, do it.
Picture there.
Is it connected or? Oh, cool. Jim, Mr. K. Krzyzanowski, on February 23rd, 2012, in recognition of your outstanding leadership, commitment, and service, thank you for being a loyal scout leader and mentor to our sons. You've helped shape the young men they are today and the citizens they will become. Faulkners, Poltals, Vashons, and Warpaw families. And it says Den 8, half 33, 33. Very cool. You guys have one more thing, right?
Yep. Do I do this or does Cub Master? Okay.
Probably do it.
We have one more award before we can start with our, with the ceremony. And the Pinewood Derby Traveling Trophy. So first I want to thank all the volunteers for making that day, which was a huge success. So without further ado, with an average time of 7.61, that was 2 heats together, Den 6, come on up and collect your trophy. All right, guys. Den 6, 2012. All right? We'll take turns with it. Okay, why don't you take it back to the table for right now, okay? Careful, careful. Jake, you go over with them. Nice job. Okay, I think we're all set then.